All right, so good morning, everyone. So, uh, this is a short video of filtering data using Google Sheets query function to with multiple criterias. So we have a report here. So there's a table here, and there's the data here. So the initial report was I was asked to get the number of inbound calls while on shift, and let's use Cheryl here rather as an example. So Cheryl is the name of the user. The Cheryl's shift start is at 4 a.m. up until 3 p.m. So let's take that into account. Let's just highlight this there. And we're going to get the information in this raw table here. So first things first is we'll filter the name Cheryl. Let's find out Cheryl. So there's a Cheryl in column C, a column E. There's also a Cheryl in column G. We'll figure that out. So the tagging is, you'll notice it's outgoing. It was explained to me in this data that, oops, what happened here? So it was explained to me in this data that incoming calls are tagged as outgoing calls is because of, for this example. So there's an incoming call and this number is calling in. It gets directed to this number. And what happens is the system labels it as an outgoing call. Then this user answers and it's being forwarded to this number. So that's how it was explained to me. I know it's complicated, but yeah, that's how it was. So also the time is here. The status of the call should be call connected. Let's just clean that out. So we're pointing out for these numbers. And we're going to get these highlighted columns from this data. So let's start it with the query function. So we're going to type in query and just select this data A to, I believe it's up until column O, the data. There you go. Let's just click enter. It's on REF right now because of this. We were asked, the way I filter the data is with the following conditions. So we'll just use the easiest one, which is incoming and outgoing, rather. Okay, incoming and outgoing. So I was asked that we'll only get the outgoing calls, right? So type in the query, select B, where B is equals to outgoing. Oops, wrong spelling. It's not showing anything right now because of the entire data, but we'll just add a limit. Let's say 10. There you go. So now I got that data where the name of Cheryl is in column E, so we'll do something about that. Where has been already typed rather. And E contains, we'll use the contains function because we're looking for the name of the user. Just highlight it here. There you go. So it's the function goes select column B where it's outgoing and E contains the name of user Cheryl. Then the next thing that we need to consider is the F number. So the F column rather. So the phone number has to be like in this trunk line. I was asked to check the numbers here. So the initial request was just to get this number, but it suddenly changed and I was asked to include all the numbers because there are instances that Cheryl's trunk line number is also changed to this number or this number. So we'll do something about that in the report. Let's just highlight that. And F is equals to, let's just do this, delete that, put an end sign. Go to here. Let's just get users column D20. Users column D20. There's no value. Maybe because Cheryl's name is not there. So we'll figure something about that. Or no, it has to do something with the end function. Oh, there you go. So there is, you see, the data that we only have here is for Cheryl having this number, but it didn't show us that, look, the number is not listed here. This number is not listed in column F, but when we run the query, it's giving us that there is an instance of this. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add an OR function. Let's just change this to D21. There you go, we change, because now there are two conditions of this phone number. But we're not done entirely with this. The next condition that was asked is we need to take into consideration the shift and the shift start and end time of the user, and we're going to refer it to this column, column I, and I is greater than or equals to. So why I use greater than? It's because it's greater than 4 a.m. or equals to 4 a.m. Then let's type here time of day. Why is it time of day? Because it gets the time of day. If you use date time, it's going to include the year of on it. Like the format, it's going to be date, month, year, then hour, minutes, seconds, if you use date time. So in this case of the query, we're using time of day. Let's just do something similar to what we typed in here earlier. Time of day is equals to D20 value. So you'll notice there's an error. To address this, we need to convert this to text, because text query in Sheets only reads text. So we're going to do this. Change the format of the text. See, it's directing me to change the format. We're going to change hour, minutes, and seconds. There you go. So we've already added the start of day. So to address this matter, we're going to add the end part of day, because what's going to happen if you include the end part of day here is it will contradict two parts of the data. So take note of that. Um, let's just change this. Instead of D20, we'll use E20, since that is the latter part of the shift. Oh, so it's working, because there are instances that it doesn't work. That's why I use the OR function. What I do here is I just copy everything here, just type in OR, then change this to the latter part of the shift. Still works. I mean, it's better this way, because there are instances that it really doesn't capture if you use the end. So I use the OR function. Okay, so that addresses the first number. We'll do something the same for the second number. So let's just do this, copy it. Oops, yeah, I noticed. I'll remove the limit for now. Ah, because there's no OR function there. Okay, so let's change this to users D21, D21, because we're getting this number now. We're already done with this number, so ref. It's an RAF because there's a data in this table. Let's just put another limit here with 12. Okay, or at least 13, just to see. There you go. So it's expanding outside. So that's on two conditions already. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to add the last number, which is D22. This one, cleaners line. Let's just change this to 22. 22. I'm just going to add this dollar sign here, because the dollar sign is when we drag this function, the numbers will move and the letters will move, and we don't want that to happen because it's affixated to this row or column only. So for this case, we just need the column C. The row column can change as we drag it down. There you go. As for the time, we just need the column because the time will also get it here. So it's the users in this column are in line with the schedules that's listed here. So we'll just get this one, this one, this one, this one. Now is we were asked to get the count. So since we're counting the word outgoing, we're going to use the function COUNTIF. COUNTIF, the range is the query, criterion is should be outgoing. We're going to remove the limit this time because we're going to do a COUNTIF now. There you go, so the count is 20, then just drag it down. Then there we have it. That's the query that we've run for this. You can also run another subquery inside the query, like for example in this case, so we're getting the user name Cheryl. But if you want to be more like add more details into the contain column, you can add another query, like for example in this case. So let's just put it that. So we're technically copying this format here where the dash is, and you can add another query here. So query, the data that we're going to run to is we're going to get this information to the users tab. So the number is or the extension is in here. So how do I remove this? Okay, I can remove it. So we're going to get the name is here, identical here, and we're going to get the extension number. So you'll notice Cheryl's extension number is 106. It's the same as the one listed here, 106. We're going to run a query with that. So that's the dash and then sign. So let's type in query. In users, we'll get column B2 up to, I think it's up to E17. There you go. We're just gonna lock that with this $sign because if we drag that later, it's going to change everything. So we're going to select column E because that's where the trunk line number is or the extension number is. Select E or B contains. We're just going to copy the contains function. Contains this one. Oops. C4 as well. $sign to the C4. And then close the query. There you go. We've closed the query. So what this appears right now is this function here is technically like this one, like the name Cheryl in it with the 106. So any column that contains this value in E will get the data. Now we're just going to run and copy this E and just replace this. This is more of like a filtered version of the query, like a cleaner version, because there are instances that there might be two Cheryls, but the other Cheryl has a different extension. There you go. Okay. All right. So I guess that's the first query that we're going to run for this. And if you have any clarifications of building this function, or if you have any insights on how to improve this query function, let me know in the comment section. If you want more videos about the nesting queries or about the Google Sheets query function, let me know in the comments below.